Good morning, and thank you all very much for taking the time to meet with us today. NAE Consulting is truly excited by the opportunity to discuss how we can provide an effective performance management system to increase Stylebox's organizational performance currently. Please do not hesitate to stop us at any point of the presentation if you have any questions or would like any additional clarification. Thank you. We have designed this presentation to provide in-depth insight into who we are as a consulting firm, our understanding of Stylebox's needs and the problem you're attempting to solve currently, how our technical approach is uniquely positioned to meet those needs. Additional information will also be provided on the specific type of training we recommend and develop for raters to help ensure accurate analysis during the process. We will also provide a brief overview on how NAE will identify performance dimensions and appraise employee performance against their objective goals and internal development plans. A proposed timeline has also been prepared to illustrate NAE's work analysis development and rater training agenda. NAE Consulting was originally founded in 2007 by three graduate-level consultants, Natasha Robbins, Adrienne Bessett-Nelson, and Eden Winfield, who share a passion in applying personally curated techniques to help companies grow and thrive. Our employees consist of graduate and postgraduate level experts with backgrounds including IO psychology, human resources, business and contract management, finances, and statistics. We are passionate in our mission to create advanced performance management systems and technological solutions for companies in need of organizational growth and development to ensure a competitive edge in a fast-paced market. NAE Consulting operates on a large scale and employs selection and performance measurement experts and has produced desirable results for many Fortune 100 firms. It is our understanding that Stylebox is currently seeking to define, design, and implement a performance management system to enhance their customer experience. Recent customer satisfaction surveys have identified concerns related to Stylebox's customer support team performance. Successful implementation of our performance management system will increase customer satisfaction and employee performance by focusing upon and enhancing customer service behaviors that contribute to organizational goals and provide valued outcomes to Stylebox. Our firm will implement 9 key fundamental characteristics into our performance management system that are proven through empirical evidence to result in more effective outcomes. We will ensure congruence with Stylebox's organizational strategy through enhancing and focusing upon customer service behaviors that contribute to overarching organizational goals. The work analysis ensures all key job-related responsibilities will be measured and evaluated thoroughly. Performance dimensions will only include observable behaviors that include multiple distinguishable aspects of an employee's performance and will be designed to eliminate external factors outside of an employee's control. Rater error training and frame of reference training will be integrated into the system, instructing raters and ratees on how to meet all expectations of fairness. The performance management system and related outcomes will be implemented to aid in the success of the entire customer support team and the organization through fair and equitable practices. While each of the steps will be discussed in more detail over the following slides, we have provided a brief overview of the projected project timeline. In May, we will begin conducting structured employee interviews with customer support agents identified as subject matter experts. In June, we will conduct further interviews regarding levels of engagement and organizational support. In July, we will ask immediate supervisors to review employee interview responses to provide additional comments and feedback. We will then complete the full compilation and analysis of interview feedback. In August, we will produce a job analysis detailing the customer support role and begin conducting internal rater error training and frame of reference training for supervisors. In September, we will implement performance management system, which includes call sample monitoring and client feedback surveys. We will conduct structured work analysis interviews with customer support agents to gather information regarding the tasks, duties, and responsibilities associated with the customer support agent role. We will then ask immediate supervisors to review work analysis interview responses and to provide additional comments and feedback. We will then conduct structured interviews with customer support agents regarding issues associated with levels of engagement and organizational support to assess any additional factors that may be directly impacting client services. We will use this information to create a work analysis that will help us identify the essential knowledge, skills, abilities, and personality characteristics required for successful performance on the job.
This slide provides a sample of the questions that we will be asking of the frontline customer service representatives in our structured work analysis interviews. As you can see, they're focused primarily on the purpose of the job, their duties, and their responsibilities.
As mentioned in our technical approach, following the employee structured interviews will be the organizational support interviews with customer service agent employees. Customer service agent employees will be asked structured questions about the level of support they receive from the organization. This phase of interviews will help clarify gaps of support that should be addressed by the organization. Although this portion of interviews is not formally part of the work analysis, it will aid NAE in making helpful long-term recommendations for success.
You can see this particular slide will show the format of the supervisory feedback that they will provide for all of the work interviews that we will conduct with the frontline customer service representatives. This will allow us to gain better clarity as to what the individual roles are, as well as important points of success and quality that is expected.
In order for supervisors to adequately rate supervisees, they will participate in rater error training and frame of reference training. Rater error training will inform supervisors with common errors made during the rating process, including central tendency, halo, leniency, and severity error. In conjunction with rater error training, frame of reference training will allow raters to practice, discuss, and address discrepancies between practice ratings. While only supervisors will attend rater error training and frame of reference training, customer service agents, team leads, and supervisors will attend the general training on how the performance management system works. Even though the supervisees will not be doing the rating, it is important that they understand how their role as a ratee contributes to the performance management system. As you can see, the rater training and general performance management system training will take place over 2 weeks. First, supervisors will undergo rater error training on Monday and Wednesday, frame of reference training will take place on Friday, and general performance management system training will include everyone the following Monday. Important details of the rating process and specificities are located on this slide. To develop the performance dimensions of concern, NAE Consulting will use information from the work analysis. This information will be deduced to scalable behaviors and results that can be subjectively rated. To obtain meaningful observance of each customer service agent, supervisors will monitor at least 10% of their subordinates' monthly calls for a 5-month period. At the end of the monitoring period, supervisors will be able to adequately rate their supervisees. Measures will be absolute, meaning that each customer service agent will be rated independently from one another, and each dimension will be within the customer service agent's control. Shown here is a sample of the 12-item supervisory feedback template. Customer service agent supervisors will use this template to rate their supervisee based on 10% of their monthly calls. These item questions are developed using the work analysis and address the knowledge, skills, and abilities needed for the customer service agent job. For each item question, supervisors will indicate their rating on a 1 to 5 scale. In conjunction with the supervisor feedback ratings, customer service agents will also be evaluated by the customers they serve. After each call, the customer will be prompted with a survey to assess their experience with the customer service agent. Shown here is a sample of the 8-item customer feedback survey. Over the course of 5 months, about 1,000 customer feedback surveys will be collected and analyzed along with the supervisory feedback ratings for the annual performance review.
Now we're going to shift gears a little bit and focus on the actual feedback and rating review process that we're going to create as a part of our performance management system. The first slide we'll talk about is employee feedback, which is incredibly important that it come from supervisors in an honest manner based on employees' goals. We've found through research that employees will have enhanced performance if they're working towards their own goals. When managers are giving feedback, it must be constructive, and that will help better reinforce those goals and help the employee want to achieve better. The delivery format, we always want them to be positive first, then we'll provide negative information if it needs to be. We're going to talk a little bit more about the structure of the goals that we'll build into the system in a few slides, but we also want it to be known that the training partnerships are going to be very, very important. These are the unofficial partnerships that are formed within a business unit between mentors and mentees, and that's something that's critical to employee success. We glossed over performance and goal development a little bit earlier so that I could go into much greater detail here. When employees will be creating their goals in the PMS, the goals will be nested and driven using a top-down approach. By that I mean that we start with the head of customer service, who will develop their goals. Their subordinates will then develop their own goals based on and nesting with their supervisor's goals, and so on and so forth until we get down to the line customer service representatives. This will ensure that goals are reflective of the company mission and that everybody knows how they are contributing to success. Goals will follow an acronym that we like to call AMT. I'll talk about that a little bit on the next slide. I previously mentioned the acronym AMT with respect to goal setting. This is a critical way to look at goals in order that they be actionable, measurable, and time-bound. This way, an employee is creating a goal that they can actually achieve, it can be measured, and they're establishing a timeline within which to meet that goal. Doing so allows for the best measurement by supervisors, as well as facilitating progress discussions throughout the year on a timeline that we're going to mention towards the end of the goal setting period. The other half of employee performance has to do with their supervisory feedback. And it's going to cover a couple of different topics. It's going to talk about their progress against the goals that they've set, And this feedback is going to be provided 4 times a year, which we will see in the schedule that I lay out in the next slide for our proposed life cycle. Additionally, it's going to include feedback from a manager's mandatory call monitoring, which is going to be 10% of an employee's call volume per month. That is for those employees in customer service who speak with customers. And then it's going to allow for goals to be updated throughout the year, because either the employee has met those goals, the goals are no longer relevant, or any other number of reasons why we would want to relook at those goals. Performance management system is going to be complete without a performance life cycle that shows how performance management is going to be conducted throughout the year. As you can see on the life cycle that we've laid out, we have a 12-month cycle beginning in March, ending in February. However, it's important to point out that those dates are flexible, and we will do them based on your requirements, including things like year-end reporting, as well as fiscal year-end reporting, and whatever other financial or operational requirements you may have. That way, employees can focus on these important rating discussions. A couple of key facts to point out. Every year, all employees will go through refresher training in how to use the system. In addition, raters will go through a refresher training as well, in which they will relearn how to be a rater in this system. You'll see throughout the life cycle, we've programmed for 4 performance check-ins that are going to take place roughly every 3 months, with the goal that employees meet with their managers enough so that they're aware of their performance and they have opportunities to adjust both up and down. Also, you'll see we have client sample monitoring that's going to take place prior to each of the performance check-ins to allow the supervisor to be as prepared as possible for those check-ins. And then lastly, you'll see that the reviews are going to be complete and forwarded to HR at the end of the final month, which is something that's going to take some time to prepare, as it always does.